The latest. Thank you for your love and support. I appreciate you all. For years, the rule existed as a rumor. People spoke about it the way Africans often speak about big projects, quietly, skeptically, as something promising long ago and forgotten just as easily. Government had come and gone. Files had been moved from one office to the other, and thus have settled on plans that no one truly intended to execute. The road was always coming, but it never arrived. Then one day a new kind of leader walked into power, not loud, not desperate for applause, but alert. The kind of leader who doesn't ask what can I announce, but asks what am I inheriting. He opened the old files, and what he saw disturbed him. Captain Ibrahim Traore are all in all the savior, the protector, the unifier, the king of kings, the most loved, is familiar with the African old pattern of project designed small, financing big, and paid for by people who will never benefit from it. A narrow road planned for a growing nation, a future squeezed into outdated thinking, debt that stretched so far into the future that even unborn generation had already been signed into it, and all in all, understood everything that many African leaders had accepted as normal. Africa was asked to borrow forever just to remain behind.
Comrades, hello. I hope everyone woke up very well this morning. Last week of the first month of the year 2026. So I take this opportunity to wish everyone a happy and prosperous year 2026. I wish you, your families, and your loved ones much health for this year, much luck in everything you undertake, and much dedication. A lot of enthusiasm at work. And I know that the endurance, the pace of these past 3 years is not simple. You have learned to work under pressure. The pressure will continue, so hold on and fasten your seat belts. I like to caricature with the members of the government to say that in 2026 currently, it's like a plane that is at the end of the runway.
We will go full throttle.
Reach at the end of the year what pilots call V1s. This means there will be even more pressure for 2026, so keep your seatbelts fastened.
I also want to congratulate you.
To congratulate you for everything that has been done during 2025, but especially during these 3 years. And I think the results speak for themselves. And that's what we need to look at in the past and gather the courage for what we must do for the future.
All that we had to accomplish,
I think we owe that to the brave people who understood our message, who understood the meaning of the revolution, because without them, the means made available to everyone to achieve it, it would not have been possible. The very essence of the revolution is to work for the people. And I think there are many examples. If you look at the field of agriculture this year, by the grace of God, we achieved a record production. There are specific crops we have tried to introduce over these 3 years. As I said, weak minds, small minds.
They always think it's impossible when we want to initiate great things.
But we must not listen to them. If we listen to them, we would get discouraged. We wouldn't be able to start. Because there are also those who are there to discourage us in everything we do. When you decide to undertake something, they will mock and ridicule to demotivate you, to prevent you from starting. I think everyone has overcome that. Because what I am saying is not only at the top of the state, but down to the citizen, at the village level, there is a surge. There you go. Everything that was said to be impossible to do in Burkina Faso in terms of agriculture has been done today. We talked about cocoa. People shouted from the rooftops. Even even some reactionaries inside here made it clear that no, it's not the priority. And yet, Thank God we have very good master chocolatiers, and our goal is not to produce for export, but to produce processed goods for us here and for our children. Today, coffee deli is a reality on the banks of Samandeni, and thankfully we have Burkinabés who process it. So I invite you to consume what is processed locally here. Many other crops such as wheat, pineapple, the vine, and many others, I won't list them all, are now being cultivated in Burkina Faso. And it will be processed here in Burkina, and it will create jobs for Burkinabés, and that's what we will consume. And so that's what we need to see in what we've achieved and arm ourselves with courage for the future. Many other projects have been successful. In the field of education, many lecture halls have been built. The last time at the concert, we adapted texts that will therefore allow us to equip these amphitheaters and build new amphitheaters. Many schools and training centers will emerge in 2026 near our growth poles, such as Bagre, Samane, and others. This is to enable young Burkinabés to be able to transform, produce, and transform what we do here. So we will no longer focus solely on general education. We will talk about technical vocational education, and thus many modern high schools will emerge in 2026. In addition to that, we have decided to build a technological university, and I hope that by the end of the year, you will see this university standing. The work has already started, and we have instructed the companies to do everything to meet the deadlines so that in the next academic year, we can welcome the students. In 2026 currently, it's like a plane at the end of the runway. We will go full throttle to reach what pilots call V1 by the end of the year.
Atom Taistunitin, the caricature in 9 series depicts the rhythm
that the president of Faso has printed for this year 2026. A year of high speed, a year of great achievement, 2026 presents itself as the crossroads to nurture and maintain the hope of a people with the realization of large-scale projects. In a good position, the Ouagadougou-Bobokeso Highway should progress at high speed to offer the Burkinabe people a unique infrastructure in Africa within a reasonable time frame.
Touring this construction site, I can say that the site is unique in Africa. There is no highway construction site like it that mobilizes so many people, so much equipment. There is none.
The cleaning work, there are more than 100 bulldozers on this construction site.
And I don't see the same. I had given them 2 months to finish the cleaning, and I think they met the challenge. We, at 40 days, they have already completed more than 70% of the cleaning, and by the 15th of February, if they pray to God, they would be finished.
A project of more than a decade, certainly, but with underlying aspects noted by the president of Faso. 1,032 billion is the initial budget to build 2 times 2 lanes.
They proposed to finance us so that we could complete it in 10 years for the shortest possible time frame. We must be aware not to condemn generations that are not even born yet to loans of 50, 60 years. To build a 2-lane highway that will soon be outdated.
In the desire to build with the people for the people, the project changes in intensity, volume, but also in scale and especially in quality in its implementation to foresee a high standard infrastructure.
When we wanted to know if it was 4 times 2 lanes apart, some even mocked us. Some entrepreneurs, they don't believe it. That in such a country, 4 times 2 is not reasonable.
Some have said that it should cost us more than 3 trillion a year.
But as I said, in the revolution, it's responsibility, it's awareness. We are not going to follow this pattern. That is why we decided to do it ourselves, because we trust our young engineers. We trust the potential of the Burkinabe people. So we sought equipments of all kinds.
Other highways will be launched this year, according to the president of Faso, for whom infrastructure is essential to initiate development at all levels. Agriculture will intensify with the production of other crops once considered unthinkable on Burkinabe soil.
There you have it. Everything they said was impossible to do in Burkina Faso in terms of agriculture, it's done today. We talked about cocoa. People shouted from the rooftop. Even some reactionaries inside here made it clear that no, it's not the priority. And yet Today, coffee is a reality after 5.5 months, and thank God we have Burkinabes who process it. Many other crops such as wheat, pineapple, vine, and many others, I won't list them all, are grown today in Burkina Faso.
To support this agricultural revolution, Captain Ibrahim Traore is focusing on education, research and science with the construction and equipping of lecture halls and professional and technical training centers to support growth hubs.
In addition to that, we have decided to build a technological university.
The work has already started, and we have told the companies to do everything to meet the deadlines so that the next admissions we can welcome students in quite advanced fields of technology to keep up. I can say that we currently have the most recent and modern scanning electron microscope installed here in Africa.
So it is there in Burkina Faso, it is operational, and the researchers will start to go
do everything he needs to do here instead of going abroad to do it again.
For the President of Faso, Captain Ibrahim Traore, everyone must resolutely get to work. There is no time to listen to mockery or remarks that tend to demotivate regarding the mark made through the RPP, the Popular Progressive Revolution.
Project, show them the sun in broad daylight. They will tell you it's night, so it's a curse. And they will continue to discourage you to talk. But the most important thing is what you do. The reality is there, and we move forward. That's what's most important. While they are making their jeers, their mockeries,
we are creating factories, building infrastructure, and generating employment.
But Captain Ibrahim Traore made the world to understand that even when they doubted us, we are proving to them that we can do it. And according to him, he's not going to let us have a generation that will come and inherit debt, that even these rules will be outmoded within the shortest possible time. So for that matter, we are going to use the little that we have in order to make things work. And this time, we are not going to do it with loans. We wouldn't go to them to borrow. We are going to use the resources that we have in order to make sure we change the narrative in Africa, because we have understood that these things are making sure they keep Africa behind. The loans that they claim they give to us in order to help us move, develop, are all traps to keep the African backwards. These things never really do anything for Africa. So in a country like Burkina Faso, all in all says no. But Africans has always been told what is reasonable by people who never suffer the consequences of low ambition. This leader was not interested in repeating inherited failure. He understood that leadership is not about managing poverty gracefully. It is about refusing to institutionalize it. He knew that if Africa keeps building small dreams, it will forever walk on narrow roads. So he made a choice that settled everyone. He rejected the script. No endless loans, no foreign control disguised as partnership, no development that arrives already absolute. Instead, he turned inward to the most underestimated resource on the continent, African capacity. He trusted young engineers trained to believe in foreign expertise more than their own. He trusted technicians who had never been trusted with projects of this skill. He trusted a generation that had been waiting quietly for someone to say, "You can do it. You can." That is all we need as Africans who followed looked unreal. Machines began to arrive, not one, not two, but fleets. Equipment rolled in like an army preparing not for war, but for liberation. The land that had waited for decades began to move. People started paying attention. They saw something they had never seen before. Africans building at African skill, with African speed and African confidence. We can do it by ourselves. All we need, right leaders, and boom, everything is on the go, and Africa will totally be free. They never expected, but we are proving to them that we don't need them in order to do anything, like those in the democratically elected made it look as if without them we can never do anything on our own. What a beautiful day in Africa. We are the only ones that can set ourselves free. United we stand, divided we fall, and united we keep standing forever and ever. The greatest enemy of the African is mental slavery. So let's decolonize ourselves from mental slavery. Let's keep sharing to educate our brothers and sisters. Together we make Africa great for ourselves and the next generations that are going to come. So that's the latest around the world in Africa, West Africa, and in Burkina Faso.